Go ahead. So my name is Daniel Krasnegor. I'm an attorney with Goodman, Donnelly, and the Veterans Benefit Group. And we're here today to talk a little bit about deadlines and when those are important in your VA case. Quick note to say that if you are watching this and we're not live, we're always happy to answer your questions. And you can get in touch with us by going to our website, www.goodmanallen.com or www.vet1010.com, or you can call us toll free at 877-838-1010. So now to get right into it, let's talk about what deadlines are important in your VA case. So the most important time you've got to think about deadlines has to do with when you have an appeal going on or when you're thinking of making an appeal. Because if you miss a deadline for an appeal, you're basically starting your claim all over again if you want to try it any further in the future. So here is some basics about appeals and deadlines. First thing is once you get a decision from the VA, you have 1 year from the date that the decision is mailed to you to file what's called a notice of disagreement. And that it's important to know that the date runs from when VA mails you the document, not when you receive it. The second deadline you've got to be aware of is that if the VA, if you start an appeal by filing a notice of disagreement and the VA continues to deny your claim, they're going to send you something called a statement of the case. And once you get a statement of the case, you have a deadline to respond to that. And if you don't, your claim is over. So the deadline for filing that appeal is going to be 60 days from the date that you receive the statement of the case, or excuse me, 60 days from the date they mail you the statement of the case, or 1 year from the date of the original decision denying you, whichever is later. The final deadline I want to bring up is if you get denied after you appeal a case by the Board of Veterans Appeals. If you want to appeal that, you have a deadline of 120 days from the date of the decision being mailed to you if you'd like to appeal to the Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims. For all of these, there's some very rare exceptions that will allow you to get away with it if you miss a deadline, but for the most part, you want to think about the fact that you absolutely don't want to miss any of those deadlines, because then you're starting your claim all over again from the beginning. I should mention that some of these rules are going to change. You may have heard of a program called RAMP, and that's a new law that's going to go into effect. It's being tested out right now, but when that new law goes into effect, there will be different deadlines for different sorts of appeals. A couple other things to mention about deadlines in your VA case. The first is that sometimes you're going to get a letter from the VA and they're going to ask you to do something. Like they might need some more information, or they may have gotten a form from you that they say was incomplete. They'll give you a deadline on that form about when they need to hear back from you. And what you should understand is that sometimes those deadlines are official and legal, and sometimes they're not. But it's important to meet those deadlines, because under certain circumstances, if you don't respond in time, the VA can use that to deny your claim. Final thing I want to mention about dates is, although it's not really a deadline sort of thing, it is important to understand about effective dates. And that is, so let's say you win a case at the VA and you're awarded disability benefits, the date that your benefits begin. Well, a lot of that is going to be set by the date you file your claim. So one thing to keep in mind is that generally, if you're asking for service connection or you're trying to get an increased rating, the date you file your claim asking for those benefits is generally going to be about as early as your benefits can go back to. So those are some important things to think about when you're thinking about deadlines and your VA claim. My name is Daniel Krasnegor, and I'm with Goodman, Donnelly. If we have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And if not, and you're watching this sometime in the future, feel free to get in touch with us, www.vet1010.com, www.goodmanallen.com, or toll free 877-838-1010.